Welcome to Launchpad. Next up is Marion, and her idea is a business called Steps, which is a learning course. If you think her idea is best this week, click to vote.
I set out to develop a course which would help both children and adults alike to acquire the skills needed to read and write. English is a notoriously difficult language, and when we hear politicians, when we hear other people say about the state of our reading, it's because English is probably one of the most difficult languages, particularly the European languages, to learn to read and write. I chose the name Steps because I wanted to convey that I feel that reading is a step progression. The children that I work with, the adults that I've seen who have difficulties, don't learn just by osmosis. They actually need learning broken down. And I like to think in analogies, and I thought of a step, and that's why it got the name Steps. I really do see it as a tool with which to teach reading and spelling, and I honestly believe that phonics is the way forward. I'd like to see it taught in colleges, where you've still got a literacy difficulty. I'd like to see it taught in adult education centres, prisons, but most importantly, and this is where I feel really passionate, I want it taught at home. I want this to be made available to parents.
But to what extent have you thought about turning that great idea and what looks like a really good book into a business?
I've gone down the stage of, can I self-publish? I have contacted a couple of publishers. I've had a couple of publishers who are interested in looking at. I'm worried. I don't know enough about the publishing world. I don't know at this stage how to self-publish.
Concern, if you like, is that you mentioned a very broad range of very large spectrum of people that you want to market this to, from a 9-year-old to an adult, and or a prisoner. How are you going to tailor-make the learning? Because obviously you're going to teach a 9-year-old in a very different way to a prisoner.
No.
You're not?
Not really. As a trained in dyslexia, it didn't matter whether we were teaching children or we were teaching adults. The way you talk is different, the language is different, obviously. But it's all about, you start with a revision. So it's all about revising sounds that you've had before. Then you're going forward to the next stage, which is looking at new material. You're looking at structured reading passages or sentence practices, and then reading. So you don't have to follow it slavishly, but it's about the structure, and
Sure.
you wouldn't want to miss out on.
To make anyone learn anything, it's got to be entertaining. It's got to be, to catch your imagination. Now, the imagination of a 9-year-old is very different to an adult.
I think the way you approach. If I were to work with an adult, the content would be very similar. I've worked with both adults. I've worked with children. I've worked with little children. I've worked with big children now. And I think it's the way you approach that teaching. It's the way you know that child and how you teach them.
Is it YouTubeable?
Yeah.
Could be converted into 133
whether it's
YouTube.
YouTube or it's something like that. Yeah.
I think we're running out of time, actually, so but it's really interesting. Thank you very much.